So much for being here today. Today we got long live coins and the Tiger Stacker, and we are going to be talking about the choices that we made in our collective hobbies in 2024. Some of the things that we did good in, some of the things that we did bad in. We're going to open the floor up for conversation. We're going to be talking about some of these things, and we are going to just like share some of the stuff that we learned, good, bad, and ugly. We're also going to talk about general terms of the things that we've done, and we're going to look at how we can improve in 2025. What's up, Chew? Good to see you. Good to see you, OC Stacker. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you guys. Again, we are invert mode. If you're looking at your phone, make sure you double tap your screen to like. If you see a little red button up above, it means you're not subscribed to the channel that you're watching. Hit that button and do us a favor. All right. So, hey, long live coins. I'm going to say hi. Go ahead and say hi to yourself. Let's go ahead and make you the head honcho here. How are you doing today?
Good, good. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, good, good. How we
And
doing?
I hear no echo. Anybody hear any echo? Hopefully not.
I do not.
Probably because I have
Right.
my headset in.
Well, that's good. That's good. We figured that out. So, no issues whatsoever. I'm glad that that's working. All
That's why
right.
I bought it.
Why don't you long live? Take a couple minutes and let's tell everybody about your channel, what you do.
Well, I'm a stacker, as most of you channels are out there. I got into gold and silver in about 2017 and been stacking ever since. Still stacking going forward. I also like to look into ancient coins. That's kind of what my channel was modeled about, was ancient coins and looking into their history and our history and the monetary system. And yeah, channel is mostly just kind of about finding out about the monetary system and how the world has ran on that type of a monetary system throughout time. And that just gets into the beauty of some of the ancient coins, especially ancient Greek coins. We're talking about 300, 400 BC. There was just some absolutely amazing art at that time. And you can capture it and hold it in your hand and see some of the things that they would have been looking at, and the imagery in them is just it's fascinating to me. So yeah, that's kind of what my channel is modeled about, I guess, stacking and our current monetary system, and then looking into ancient coins. So
Very cool. Thanks for doing that. Hey, Tiger Stacker, how are you doing, good sir?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on board.
Oh, no problem. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your channel and then we'll go ahead and kick into today's topic.
Well, my channel started off a little differently. I was just a regular watcher, and people like Yankee, Silver Dragons, a lot of other people talked me into starting my own channel. Originally started it not mainly for myself, but mainly for my wife, who runs a dog training channel. She I wanted her to be more successful. She's a little stubborn. So I figured my best way of getting her to learn is for me to do it myself. And then maybe she would learn, and then maybe I could get some people to go to her. My second reason was to let my then one, now two grandsons know that grandpa loves them very much. Um, my son having daddy issues doesn't let us see him. That's his problem, not mine. But I wanted to leave word for them that their grandfather loves them, plus leave them a lot of advice. Did I say something funny?
No, I was just reading a comment by somebody in chat. It's all good. Sorry.
Okay, so I left. I'm leaving word for them, not only how much we love them, but also try to give them good sound advice so that they can take care of their family later on in life. So then, you know, started making friends and realizing the advice I was leaving for my grandsons was actually good advice for everyone in our community. And that's how it all started. And then me being a playful person, decided that the role of the tiger was a great way to have a little fun while I was also trying to teach. Because let's face it, some people stacking and coins and all that's boring. And if you can throw a little fun in, then they might actually enjoy the hobby a little bit more.
Well,
Kind
and
of
some
like
people
why.
have a face for radio, so he's like, that's not funny. Oh, well, thanks, Tiger. I
Not
appreciate it,
everyone
buddy.
can be blessed with stripes.
OC Stacker, absolutely. Let me get over here. Hey, I thought you should be a mod already, OC. Hold on just a second. Let me pull that up.
Justin Trudeau stepping down, is he possibly?
Is he?
I don't know. That's what he's asking there. I had not heard, but
I'm not sure. I'm not sure why this isn't coming up. Hold on just a second.
yeah, it's interesting. For me, Canada has always been so. I mean, just I don't know. They don't. They're just quiet up there all the time on everything. It seems like to me. I mean, Justin Trudeau got in there and he seemed very dictatorish suddenly, but other than that, I mean, I don't know a lot about Canada.
What's up, Sassy? How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, Sassy.
You should be blue now, OC. Thanks so much for being a mod. I appreciate you. Oh no, you don't have to worry about that. The one thing that I don't care about, I don't care if people come in and do that kind of stuff. Really, it doesn't matter to me at all. Let the banter happen. Again, that doesn't matter to me. I am all for free talk and free speech, so let people talk and do whatever. As long as people are not utterly disrespectful, putting out like blatantly racist, blatantly ignorant comments, anything threatening, anything blatantly offensive, then whatever. I don't care if people are trying to get a rise out of it. They like people want to joke and laugh. Let them do it. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the conversation today. And the conversation is, what did we learn in 2024? Now, again, we're talking about different levels here. So we're talking about ancient coins here, we're talking about stacking here, and we're talking about collecting and stacking here. So one of the things, and I'll go ahead and start, one of the things that I learned is to stay true to yourself. It sounds like a simple enough comment, but as being a content creator, one thing that I tried to do in 2024 was I tried to make everybody happy. I tried to do everything everybody else wanted to do, and it just wasn't really beneficial. Um, I found that I was getting overwhelmed. I was getting inundated, trying to make everybody happy, trying to do stuff, and it just wasn't working. So what I ended up doing, and if you look at the channel again, if you're a subscriber, you've probably seen this before, and that is do things like tell dad jokes, have a lot of fun, talk about stacking, talk about collecting, but also include topics that affect your ability to stack and ability to collect. So I've done some things on AI, the advent of AI, and what happens as a content creator, and looking at things like the bills. I live in Texas, Texas resident, and how do those things affect me, and how do those things affect you? If you live in or around the Texas area, that might be something that is important for you to know. And so, um, how do different bills and legislation affect your ability to collect and how to stack and save money? Again, it's one of those things that is important for me. And so these are things that I want to share with you. So, one of those things that I found in 2024 that I try to add to my channel and try to bring on to you is to be true to myself. Do things that I like. I like to tell dad jokes and be stupid. Tiger's a buddy of mine. He likes to pick on me. And again, you can guys double tap that screen. It makes it really easy. But it's stupid jokes. Like, I went to the grocery store and the manager was there and he kicked Frosty the Snowman out. I was like, why'd you kick him out? He's like, he was rummaging through the carrots. And I was like, well, why was he rummaging through the carrots? And he said something about picking his nose. Anyway, dad jokes. So that's one thing that I learned in 2024. Long lived, what about you? What's one of the things you learned in 2024?
Well, yeah, I like to just stay focused on the fundamentals, the bigger picture for me, because otherwise it's easy to get lost in all the rhetoric. So yeah, just focus on, do I see any big changes that would make me decide that I would want to stack less or something different? And so far, no. It's just steady on the path and do what you can and don't put yourself in a bad position. But other than that, continue stacking.
That's cool. What about you, Tiger? What did you learn in 2024? What lesson stuck with you?
Oh, I learned a lot of them on learning how to work YouTube, thanks to you, my brother-in-law. On stacking, I learned a lot about the value of the saving. I was never a good saver, and basically, long story made short, when I got sick, as many of you know, got real sick, was in the ICU, long time in recovering, about 1 to 2 months of no income coming in. Grateful I had this because I was never a good saver. I would have been SOL. So I sold a good bit of my silver to pay the bills. Don't have any of the creditors jumping down my throat for days and weeks and 2 months on end, because I was able to sell a good bit of my silver and the value of that, what that is worth, and also learned a pattern that I needed to try to stay away from the fun stuff. I sold a lot of my fun stuff because I learned that in a true SHTF, I'll probably need this stuff more and other things more, like 10-ounce bars and all that. So I let the fun stuff go. Took a little bit of a hit, but it's okay. I'll claim that on my taxes. And now I'm focusing less on the fun stuff. I still get it from time to time, but I'm focusing more on constitutional, bullion, um, uh, coins of different realms, and trying to focus more on that than I am on the fun stuff. I will tell you, in this case right here, uh, this is fun for me. The pre-33s, the coins that my um, grandfather used to carry, both gold and silver, even though they're somewhat not so much fun as the semi collectible stuff. It's nice because I'm stacking away stuff my grandfather used to carry, and that kind of in a way makes it feel like he's still alive and with me currently. So oh, here we go with sassy. uh I learned that Frosty is a dork that I love and that will probably never see the real tiger. Be careful what you ask for, Sassy, and you may regret it.
Well, like I said earlier, Sassy, some people have a voice for or a face for radio. So, well, and again, so folks, I know you probably don't know Tiger. If you're on my stream, you probably haven't come in very often. You may have seen him, you may not. Hey, Gatito, what's going on? One thing I want you guys to understand is it's not an exaggeration when I say Tiger almost died. Tiger got really, really sick. But it's his understanding of stacking and what he did to collect and his knowledge of how to save, how to put stuff away. Now, he couldn't save fiat money. He burned a hole in his pocket, but he found that he could buy silver, store it, buy gold, store it. And then when the need came, he was able to utilize that stuff that he had stored and actually save himself from serious situations. If you go over to Tiger Stacker, go check him out. Check out that video he did. He shows where he sold 30 10-ounce bars, something like that.
Yeah,
Was able to save enough money to get enough money to pay his bills and actually get through a very difficult month once he returned from being in the hospital for a number of days. So again, understanding what it's like to stack and making those lessons, what to put aside, and how to safeguard your future investment. You know, a lot of people have a hard time saving, as Tiger was just talking about, and so Stacking and collecting is a good way to do that. If you're going to be spending the money, it's good to put your money into something. And I know this is not quite exactly what you would be collecting, which is a silver pour. But having these items that carry value, have inherent value to them, should you have a life instance, um, an emergency, so to speak, it acts like an emergency fund, and you're able to do that. Now we're going to talk about that. Hey, Kinamine and Gatita. Yes, Gatito, I did get your email, and I'll follow up with you. I did respond to saying that I would look at some of that stuff. So thank you so much for sending those photos. I definitely appreciate it. Um, I did see a couple nice 10-ounce bars in there I'd like to talk to you about. But we'll go through and we'll identify some of the stuff and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Maybe we can even do some of that in the stream tonight. So when Tiger very gently and not with a whole lot of impugned um, self-proclaimed righteousness, Tiger was actually able to make it through a very difficult situation because of his ability to stack and collect. So make sure you're listening to that when we start talking about things that you can do and things that you can do to safeguard not only your financial wealth in 2024. We're not investors. We don't do this for a living. These are uh, opinions you take and you invest wisely, do your own strategies. But we're going to give you lessons that we learned accordingly.
By the way,
Um,
if you want to, I can show Sassy my real face.
what are you going to show?
Hold on.
I know what he's going to show. You're going to scare away the audience. You ready? There you go.
That's when I ate T the Silver Stacker's hot tamales. Watch what happens. Throw me up there. Watch what happens. So there, are you happy, Sassy?
Oh, you nuts. I don't, is Sassy still in here? Gatito thought it was funny. All right. Well, the second thing that I learned is that gratitude is everything. Um, you'll see when you're talking through the stacking and the collecting channels here that you'll see one common thing, and that is this. And you'll see this throughout the community. Hashtag, oops, hashtag kindness. And it's amazing what a little bit of kindness will do. One thing that I learned in watching people that were going through 2024 is that there were a lot of people that had a very difficult time this year, whether it be through finance, whether it be through loss of family members. I had a loss of family member this year, actually two losses of family member this year. Had some good friends die this year. A couple icons within the community die this year. And being able to step up and do things for their family, being able to show how coming together on just a social media platform allowed for opportunities for people to come together and share in kindness and grace and just share in humanity. Being a part of this community, uh, being here on YouTube or different social media, being able to come in and just connect with people that I normally wouldn't be able to see in normal walks of life. Being able to support them and be supported by them has been extremely beneficial. Not only to the channel, I've seen a lot of growth in 2024 in my channel, but as a personal endeavor, as a person, I've been able to grow through the relationships that I've established here in this community. It's because of that that I have been able to establish some really good, solid friendships. Uh, Two people here, Long Live Coins and Tiger Stacker, have had a tremendous impact in my ability to look at things a little bit different, be smarter in the way that I stack and collect, extend things. There's another one who's amazing in the community who supports a lot of people. moderator, absolute fabulous person. Sassy Susan brings a level of laughter and joy in her streams. Again, there's so many people in this community who just come out. And the one thing that I've learned in all of this is to be gracious. People have bad days. People make mistakes. People have bad times. And it's to look past that and find out what the root of that problem was. I have insulted and been ignorant to people this year, not by purpose. And I've been able to learn from my mistakes. And I hope that you guys have been able to as well. Long lived. What about you? What's another one of the things that you've happened to picked up on this year or learned?
Well, yeah, I suppose right along the lines of what you were saying is the relationships, that and this community. Once you get in, it's such a welcoming community, and yeah, them. I've learned so much from the community that I wasn't expecting to learn, didn't know what to expect, but yeah, you learn a lot. It's really can be unending. I mean, um, so from just the relationships you form with people, you're gonna learn a lot, and then yeah, if you get into numismatics, especially ancient coins, there's just so much there, and I learn every time I look into it. I learn a great amount of information. And looking into your past, you realize how much things are still the same in many ways in the present, and so yeah, so there's so much to learn in the community, and I've learned so much that it's a great thing to be a part of. I would encourage anybody who isn't in the silver stacking community or collecting community. It's a great place to be because you're also preserving your wealth, and that's actually how I got into the precious metals itself was uh, just looking at the monetary system and what's going on there, and that's what led me to the gold and silver. And the good thing to know is that beside it being fascinating, you're also preserving your wealth, and that's important as well. So yeah, that's some of what I learned.
Tiger, what about you? What's another thing that you've learned in 2024?
Um, Actually, how many friends I've made with the stacking. I didn't know that I would get really close friends. I have more close friends in our community than I do in the real world. And if you look at it, it was the weirdest things that got us to be friends. In your case, Frosty, I wanted help with tech, and you were so gracious, and to be different than anybody else, to do things out of the kindness of your heart, that you sparked in me something that might you reminded me of my dad. My dad wouldn't take money from anyone. And there was a lawyer in our family who um, was friends with the family, and he didn't have the tech skills to fix cars and houses and roofs and plumbing and all that. And he would do financial nice things for the family. And I just went ahead and did things out of the kindness of my own heart, which I think shocked you as much as your help for free shocked me. Um, and thank you, El. And then if you look at long lived coins, you we were, for lack of a better way of saying it, friendly adversaries. Uh,
That's well, and you say that, and I understand exactly what you mean by that because um, when you start, everybody's fighting for space.
no,
So I
no,
completely
we would
understand.
fight in auctions.
Yeah, auctions. Well, yeah, well, that was a great part about it was they were so much fun, and I think that we were both. I know I was just rolling and laughing on the ground sometimes because of going back and forth bidding with Tiger on some certain coin that we want, and
Or a bar.
or bar. Yep, it was always fun.
The biggest one was when I was going for one of the blood bars, and they would go for anywhere from 4+ to 500 plus at the time. And I wanted to get enough to build a pyramid, and I was throwing in what you call insurance, and this little devil here threw a bid just underneath my top insurance bid, made me pay the whole entire amount of the insurance. He, I swear to God, I could hear him giggling over the internet at me.
No, I didn't do that. I just bid you. Well, it was what was funny was, so we'd been. You'd have to know the whole history there. So we've been back and forth over lots of coins, several different days and weeks, different auctions, and we happened to be on this one auction going back and forth, and he gets carried away. He just started typing in numbers. He's like, okay, it bids at $36. He types in 38. And then before anybody can type anything else, he types in 40 on himself, and then 45. He just starts laying out, he just starts going up. And no one else is even bidding, and he got up to like, something ridiculous, 125, and I put in like 126.
No, 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 no. That bar cost me
Yeah, or whatever it
approximately
was,
six
500.
hundred and thirty dollars
Right.
for a 10-ounce bar of something that has a lot of history to it. I was usually getting them between 400 and 500 plus, and it's like, no, I want my pyramid. I want my pyramid, and he just throws out a bid just underneath me. I'm like, that little bastard. And then I felt bad, and because I think you were really wanting it, and I made a gesture in good faith and put out an olive branch. I forget what I did, and all of a sudden, we went from being friendly adversaries to friends that are very infrequently adversarial.
Right.
So it was kind of fun how this friendship started. It was just funny, and how the friendships I got over the years or over the year. I got to be friends with uh, uh, um, Oregon Stacker, Steve looking for silver, all the other ones, and all because they liked the fact that I was a nice person. The first thing I think they actually paid attention to me was, um, I knew Frostbite wanted a Libertad. I think it was a 5-ounce Libertad or something like that, and I won the bid, or how? Yeah, I think it was a bid. I won the bid, and I just said, "Send it to Frosty."
And it's a
And
Frosty. Like,
and then all
holy
of a
crap.
sudden, what? And
Yeah,
I
we
did
all
it
thought,
because Frosty made me feel so good about being on YouTube, even though um I'm very technically challenged. And I'm just so grateful because I'm able to get things done without having to fight everything about a computer. That I just wanted to show my gratitude, and boom, did what it. I didn't even know I was going to do it, to be honest with you. I thought I was going to get it for myself, and then I'm like, my brain just like, no, give it to Frosty. So I
I'm glad you
typed it
made
in
the
the chat.
decision. Well, so I'm gonna get back to this in a minute. I know teacher has to leave here in a minute, and I'm gonna pull this up um, because this is something else that I learned this year. It's something that I had talked to a number of people as I got into this, but the more that my channel grew, the more I started to talking with the individual people that were out there. Now, this is relating to all walks of life. Now, folks, I want you to understand. I work in the medical field, and I deal with like admin side. I'm in the office. I'm dealing with stuff. I'm dealing with policy. I'm looking at IT based stuff, information systems, stuff like that. Like I'm not at the patient level. I don't deal with stuff like that. But what I do get to do here is I get to learn and talk to people. And the one thing that I've learned this year in 2024 is that there are a lot of people in this community who are hurting. There's a lot of people in this community who are covering from addiction. There are a lot of people in this community who have post traumatic stress syndrome, who are disabled vets, who are caretakers. There are people here who have been physically abused, there are other types of abuse they've experienced. And there have been a lot of people in this hobby who have found family here, people who are willing to step outside of themselves and just talk with people, people who are willing to uh, open up and say, hey, we get it. We've been able to connect people to different channels. But I want to tell you, and I know teachers here, I've got to meet teacher, I've got to talk with teacher. We've actually had lunch and dinner. We met in Tulsa at a coin show. Uh, Absolutely phenomenal guy. But he got to a point to where he just wasn't really happy with life. But his isn't the only story that's like that. I'm going to go back to really kind of the first person who really had an impact in that, and that, his name was Anxious Stacker. He deals with anxiety. He really had a really difficult time, and him and I were talking, and he called me. He says, "Hey, do you mind if we just chat? You seem like a decent fella. I just, you're giving me good information about numismatic and helping me understand stuff in a simple way. You introduced me to Tiger. You've introduced me to a couple other channels. I'm really starting to learn and grow in this hobby. I found Yankee and Blue Ridge. And I'm finding like all these people that are really trying to engage, but I feel like I can talk to you. Do you have a minute?" I was like, "Sure." And he came in and he was talking, and we were just kind of chit chatting back and forth. And he was like, I have such a hard time. I don't relate to people. And I was like, well, I really never heard, I never really thought about the fact that this really is a venue for people who are looking for a place just to hang out, looking for a place just to kind of um, do stuff. I'm going to throw that overlay in there. If that overlay bugs anybody, let me know. Um, but there were people who were just struggling. There were people who were having a hard time, and to be able to go into a stream and just to be laugh at somebody and see a stupid dad joke and to look at some of these things and see what's going on and find out what's happening and uh, you know turn somebody's day around. There's so many of these channels that are fun and engaging and actually have changed people's lives. So the one thing that I would like to say to everybody who comes in, first off, if you're looking for a home or you're looking for a place to be, I might not be your sole source. Tiger might not be your sole source. Long Live Coins might not be your sole source. But let us be gateways to connect you to people in this hobby who will help you find the place where you fit in, right? That's what we want to do. We want everybody to plug in somewhere. And so if we can help you in any shape, fashion, form, reach out to us and let us know. Now, when I ask for you to subscribe, obviously I want you to grow my channel. We want, we put out content, we do stuff like that. That's a given. But what we're more connected about, reason that I like these two gentlemen that are down here is they're engaged in community. They want to see the betterment. Now, this guy right here, he's an ER doc. He travels, he's away from home a lot, really trying to support his family. So he does a lot of different stuff. But he's really gracious and really genuine to the community. And this guy, he's always out there. He does this little spin thing. He does music and he does his bins, but he's just here to entertain. He likes to have fun. He likes to educate. He likes to bring people together. It's this type of community. It's this type of collaboration that I found that I never ever thought about in YouTube. This is one of the major things that I learned in 2024. JJ hates this format. Yeah, I know, brother. I hate it. He's like, I'm gonna No, stop it. um, but again, this is one of the things that I found here, and that is something that I want to pass on to you guys. It's it's really easy to watch people and go, "Oh man, they look like they have so much fun." You're always welcome in our streams. Always welcome to laugh. Always welcome to joke. And exclamation point email. I want somebody to put that in there. Okay.
Mhm.
If you have coins, if you have stuff or silver and gold, and you want to ask questions, and you don't know who to turn to, do me a favor. Send me an email. If it's about an ancient coin or something like that, I'm going to be sending it to him, and he's going to reach out to some of his contacts. One of the key contacts that he has a relationship with that I would love to be able to get to know better is Aaron Burke. There's not a better person for ancients in the coin world than that man, right? If you want to know about stacking, collecting, and some of the things that are going on, I'm going to be sending you to one of these guys like Tiger. Tiger has great relationships and a connectivity to two of the icons in our community, Yankee Stacker and Salivate Metal. We affectionately call him Uncle Sal. And so I want to make sure that, we connect you to people that are like, but we also know people that are in the coin hobby that are, they like to do metal detecting. We know people who are artists that like to make coin rings. We know people in the hobby that like to do things like um, salvage. They like to do those kind of things. They like crafting. People who like to just be funny and tell jokes and stuff like that. So it doesn't matter. If you're looking for a place to be, reach out to us, let us know, and we will do what we can to connect you. Can't promise that everything's going to happen, but we're going to do what we can. This is one of the major things that I learned in 2024. And that was, again, graciousness is a virtue, right? Be gracious and connectivity of the community. Um, I think it's really important to make sure that we connect our people. So, long live, I'm going to throw you back up here. I just mentioned a name, Aaron Burke. Aaron Burke is a key, an icon when it comes to ancients. You want to talk a little bit about Aaron Burke and what he's done for you and how he's helped your channel grow?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have a channel if it wasn't for Aaron Burke, and I'm still fascinated by the fact that I get to talk with him on my channel. Um, so I'm really humbled by it. He's well known worldwide, him and his father, for ancient coins. And I'm looking here to see if I can see my. Okay, yeah, there I am. Okay, so this book, The 100 Greatest Ancient Coins, is Harlan J. Burke and his son, Aaron Burke. I get to interview a couple times, a few times, or once a month roughly. And we just go through ancient coins and we talk about their history. And yeah, for some reason, I can't get my camera to pull up here.
Pull you
So
up?
we're having a little bit of technical. Yeah, my camera is not. Let me shut it off and try to pull it back up here. Sorry, guys. My
Yeah.
the
You do know why he's having trouble with his camera, don't you? He got it from me.
Oh, I thought it was because his camera saw your face.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
That,
oh.
that was a little.
I wish I had that basement button right now.
You mean this one?
Wow. It's not coming up.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, yeah, that one.
It's
Oh
better when I
man,
have the basement button.
Here, okay. I'm going to try this one more
I can see your
time.
screen. Your screen seems to be
Yeah,
going
it's
all right.
showing up, but see, I'm putting stuff up and it's like an old picture. It's not current. So I can't show what I'm trying to show. Go ahead. Can you hand it to Tiger for a minute and I'll pull me back up in a minute when I get this going because I want to show some of these things off. It's really important to get a visual
Yeah,
on it.
no worries. I'd like to see some of the ancient coins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hey, before you start, Tiger, I want to say thanks to Elle. My daughter is an artist, and she does some amazing stuff. And I don't just say that because um, she's my daughter. I say that because she's a talented little turd. Um, She has an amazing eye for art, and she has a talent that I will never possess. So, if you will do me a favor and if you tap that, go check out her channel. Drop her a subscription. Let her know that Frosty sent you. That would be very appreciated. And don't forget, double tap the screen. And if you have that little red subscribe button, it's free to subscribe to the channel, but it really does help us out.
Well, you know why she's so talented, don't you?
Yeah, because I'm her dad, and
No, because she's my niece. She got her from my side of the family.
well, true that even a blind squirrel can find a nut. So
Yeah, I found you, didn't I?
that's true. You did. Yeah, that's correct. Uh, too much fun. Yeah, El, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, El. By the way, since you did throw that up, El, I'm gonna say this on this stream like I did on the last one. Frosty and I are going to be doing New Year's streams. He's probably going to do a much longer one than I'm going to do. But by all means, get on Frosty's, go spend time with him. Uh, he's going to try to get to 5,000 view hours, and if we can, I'm sorry, not view hours, 5,000 subs. And I'm going to throw in something when you all get to 5,000. He's got a shorter distance to go than I do. On my stream, I would like to get up to 2,000 subscribers. I'm at 1,640 something. Some of you have subscribed over the last few hours. Thank you much. If I get up to 2,000 subscribers, I'll be adding in another giveaway of a 5-ounce poured item that I did, but there'll also be giveaways for subscribers and members and mods. And if I get to the 2,000, which I'm afraid I won't be able to, but if I do, I'll be putting up the 5-ounce on top of all that. So hoping to have uh, some hours with everyone there, having fun, enjoying the new year, and enjoying each other's company. But please, by all means, get over to Frosty's New Year's party, and he's gonna be like Jerry Lewis. He's gonna go all night. You know,
My
no
wife
one.
loves that about me, though.
What? That you're that you're the nutty professor.
Know that I can go all night. Um,
Okay, I think I got my camera back. If you're
he's like, okay,
That
let's
that
change
that
that.
reminds me of when I met Soupy Sales, and I did meet Soupy Sales. This is not a joke. We were in college, and there was a contest about whose fraternity was the best at sprucing up their fraternity based on the movies and all that. And he comes in, and we had a theme of Camelot going on, and he looks at me right in the face and says, when I met King Arthur, he taught me a very valuable lesson. He said, "What's that?" He said, once a king, always a king, but once a knight is enough."
But
Well, it was Soupy Sales. What did you expect?
that's funny though.
Yeah, he was an older dude by that time. He had the gray hair, gray long hair.
okay, so you ready for? Can I take over the camera here for a bit?
Fire away. There you go.
All right, so yeah, back to where we were. This is the book that I was trying to show that wasn't showing up before, The 100 Greatest Ancient Coins by Harlan J. Burke. It's a great example if you're interested in getting into coins. This is the first bimetal coinage ever produced. So this is the first time that they put gold coins of certain weights alongside silver coins of certain weights, and it took 13 of the larger silver to equal one large gold. So, but it was kind of the first bimetal standard, and so you can get a lot of different information about some of the great coins. Beautiful examples in here, and read a little bit about their history. And so, yeah, I get to talk with Aaron about ancient coins and antiquities. He also is an antiquity expert, not only in coins. So he's got fascinating information on all things ancient, and is a
What
great
good do you got there?
great person to learn from. So this is a tetradrachm of Alexander the Great, and so his coinage got very, very famous. And well, since he kind of conquered the known world at the time, for hundreds of years, even after his death, they were still minting coins of Alexander the Great because he had such an impact and his money was used so far and wide. At least for me, a kind of an example is how everyone uses the US dollar. Everybody back then just knew, even places that he wouldn't have had control over any longer still minted his coins because it was just known as currency. So yeah, fascinating coins. This is a beautiful example right here. You've got the on the back here. You have let's see, I believe it is Zeus seated, and he's got his scepter here in his hand. And as you can see in Greek down here underneath, it has B.A. Basileos in Greek. And then the A is a little bit off the flange, but Alexandru down the back. So yeah, King Alexandru, and then it has its mint marks over here, and they can trace the coins to their mints and where they were minted, they think, and everything, and their timeline. So it's absolutely fascinating, uh, the amount of things you can learn when you start looking into these coins. So on this side, obviously, you have the portrait of Alexander the Great, and he has what's called a lion headdress on. And there's his bottom jaw and his tooth, and it comes up around kind of like it's swallowing his head. There's the ear of the lion. And down here at the bottom, you can see the paw, and it kind of ties around his neck there. So, yeah, beautiful example of an ancient coin.
That's really cool.
And that dates back to about 330 BC, right in there. So,
Yeah, see, and
actually,
that's one thing. Ancient coins are really cool, but it's one of those things that's just out of my league right now. I have so many other things that I want to look at, learning about. And you guys know me. I'm all about my ship coins, right? I love my ship coins. Um, some of the stacking stuff that I have, I'll pull this up here real quick. We have people in the community that pour this kind of stuff. Absolutely fabulous. The
Mm-hmm.
craftsmanship and some of the stuff that people create is amazing. Um, winner, JJ. Who's drawing their own name? That's funny. Um, but yeah, I mean, again, we have some very talented people in the community. We
oh,
talk
that's
about this one.
awesome.
This is the one that Long Live loves. This is the Viking piece, and again, obviously, you have the battle axe there up top with the ocean and the rough seas. So we have a ton of talented people in here. But what I like about Aaron Burke is that number one, he's pretty easy to talk with. He seems like a very calm, mellow man, but very, very knowledgeable, and just a really neat person. And this is again, this is about the community. These are uh, Aaron Burke is a pillar in that realm, right? He's like the go-to guy, and for the fact that somebody like that would reach out to somebody in the community and just nurture them and come alongside of them. I've had so many people in this community come alongside of me and say, hey Frosty, let's work on some of this, or hey, how would you like to do this, or um, what kind of stuff can we go through and how can we find certain things. Um, you don't you don't find too many hobbies where people are willing to just go out and help you and share information with you. We talk about live coin Q&A and copper coins, two channels you absolutely should be subscribed to if you are wanting to know about coins, right? Um, and they're on my Saturday streams almost every week, Sunday stream every week, supporting me. And you won't find that in a lot of communities, because here it's not as much as being competitive as much as it is working with each other to help and grow our hobbies. And so I really like that Aaron Burke has come alongside of you and helped develop that in you, because again, we just don't see that all the time. So that's really, really cool. And by the way, folks, depending upon what channel you're coming in on, whether you're on mine or whether you're on one of the other guys, there's a red button up here that says subscribe. Please do that, or you can always double tap the screen if you're enjoying the content. It's free to you, but it really does help the channels. So please consider subscribing and double tapping that screen.
And for those of you who don't know, mine channel's not streaming this because
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think
once
my
again running
channel
to
is
a
either.
techie. Oh, yours is streaming. I went over to yours and typed in there. Yours is doing it.
Mine is.
My mine is not. So I need new techie help.
Huh, okay, let me reach.
So
We'll get that taken care of, Tiger. No big deal.
Oh,
We'll make
yep,
sure you're taken
yep.
care of.
You're right. I
yeah,
am live now. Okay, you're right.
yeah, you look pretty, man.
What's up, Flag City?
Cool.
So, Tiger, you've been asked to show your collection. So, what? Let's talk about what you got there. Show that 33. Let's talk about pre
Oh
33
wow.
gold.
Okay, yeah. I'm as I've grown into my stacking, I have gotten more and more into pre 33 gold. I'm not sure I believe in the confiscation concept that a lot of people do, but when I first started thinking about silver and gold, it was starting from memories that I had with my grandfather. And, he didn't talk a lot about it, but he did talk enough that I didn't understand back then, but I started understanding it as I got older. So this is special to me because this is the type of stuff that he would carry in his pocket. Same thing with the 90% constitutional silver. That's the stuff that he used to carry. If my math is correct, he was born in 1891. So he lived through a lot of really interesting stuff in our history. He lived through, the ending of the 1800s, the uh, the overprinting of paper money of 1907, the Federal Reserve being instituted in 1913. The FDR, the gold confiscation, um, the he was in the Navy in World War One, World War Two. When I was a kid, he was he was in his early stages of being an older man, and he lived through a lot of history. And as I listened to him talk, all of a sudden, when I started waking up in 2021, I started remembering some of these things, and I got myself out of cryptos and out of stock market and started stacking gold and silver. And the more I did, the more I remembered. So pre 33 gold is, if it's not my favorite, it's up on my top three list, simply because it feels like I have my grandfather back. But if you think about it, this stuff used to be in people's pockets. Same with
Yeah,
this
it's
stuff.
hard to believe that people just spent that as normal money.
Yeah. So, and while I'm on the road, I try to keep a little bit, not only for the videos and the live streams, but my concern is that I'm going to be somewhere one day and SHTF hits and I don't have any medals with me. So I'm
So
gonna.
let's break that out real quick. Again, if we're going to use acronyms and stuff, we don't know who's on the line. So SHTF says when the hits the fan. So that's what SHTF stands for. Most of you people are going to know this, but for those who may be online that don't actually know what that stands for, that's what SHTF stands for.
So when things go completely kaplooey, I'll have something that I could use for barters, trade, maybe buy myself a ticket back home so I can get back to my wife and start hunkering down to, because I don't have the amount of money that other people have where you could have a bug out place. I have to bug in like most people. And I want to be home where my food is and my water is and my everything else, and I'm close to where the off-site locations are for my stack. So that type of thing.
Yeah, and for those of that don't know what a swinger is, it's a metal detector. Let's be clear about
I
what
didn't know that
conversation
one.
we're having here in the chat.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah, so when you go metal detecting, you take it back and forth. People call them swingers.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on, Reggie neighbors? How you doing? Yeah, I want to make sure we're clear on that. Hey, thanks everybody for being in here again. If double tap that screen if you're enjoying this. Long live. What other good coins do you have to show?
Oh, I can get some more, grab some more here. Let's see, what do we got right here? For one thing, another great thing about being in this community is just stuff like this. So this is kind of the icon of my channel, really, right here. So, and
Okay.
I got this from T the Silver Stacker.
Yeah, you beat me out for that one.
Yeah, this is another one of these that me and Tiger battled over, and I couldn't let him have this one, so I ended up with this one.
I should have did to you what you did to me, made you pay the higher rate.
You were typing so fast, I was just putting in a bid. So it came in behind you. But anyway, so yeah, so I got him to stamp it as well. So and his channel really took off here of late as well. He's
Yeah,
really
it did.
good now. So I'm glad to have this piece. And that's again like we were talking, meeting people in the community, and it's great to know T. And actually, he's been to Harlan J. Burke uh, in Chicago, his store, a few times, and did interviews downstairs with the main desk, which deals in bullion as well. So yeah, so there's that. So yeah, just different pieces. It gets great. Then I have a piece over here. This is from what is his name? Um, Medley Corrupt.
Yep, that's it.
And I got this pour from him. So he did 2 pours for me. He knew, I'm a sucker for bees. So, and he did 2 pours, and one of them came out with this heart ripple, just naturally came out like that. And so, of course, that's the one that I wanted. And then I got him to stamp it as well on the side here somewhere. The 3 nines fine, 2 LLC. So yeah, and I got more stuff like that. This one here is from the Broke Stacker. This is his first ever. So Broke Stacker, he pours quite a bit of copper. And I had heard before that if you go from pouring copper to pouring silver, it's an experience and different. So I wanted to see that. And so I sent him some silver shot. I ordered some silver shot just for him and sent it to him and asked him to pour me around or these bees here. And he did, and it was his first silver pour. So got BS number 1, 2024. So I got Broke Stacker's first silver pour, and he did it online, so you can actually go rewatch the live stream where he did his first silver pour.
Oh, that's BS.
Yeah, right. So so that's some of the and then over here I got Tiger Stacker coming around on the easel here. This is Tiger Stacker's.
You're gonna have to move your camera. Okay, we'll get that.
Oh, is it's a delay there, huh? So this is Tiger Stacker's channel around, and it's got his wife's channel on here as well, Dog World and You. It's a 50 gram, and I believe he had Hi Ho Silver pour these. Is that right?
That is true. I am working on trying to get my skill level up. One day I hope to be somewhere in the neighborhood of Hi Ho, but I'm making some nice things. I want to keep going at it. My job gets in the way, though.
Yeah. So that's fun. A fun part of it too is just getting to know the community and stack some of their pours and get a feel. I got somebody else making me another pour as well with bees in it. I kind of go for the bee theme, and so I'm excited to get that. It's fun to get pours from the community and get their own little. They all have their own taste to them and unique things about them, so that's fun as well. It makes the hobby funner. So
So true.
I did want to mention a couple other things about this coin, and then I'll grab another one. But so this is, like I said, a portrait of Alexander the Great. However, it is also like a rendering of, oh goodness, now he just slipped my mind, of Hercules. So a lot of the coins back then had Hercules and Zeus and stuff, and so they believe this is an Alexander likeness of that. So of course Hercules with his labors and mythology. If you know about that, he kills a lion. So that's when you see a lot of that correlation between a lion and on ancient coins with Hercules on it. Very very cool correlations. And actually, I'll grab another coin, and you'll notice that the thrones are very similar, and along with the scepter and a few other things. And then I'll talk a little bit about that as well. And you know what to me is fascinating about this as well is you can see and read, or at least I can, and I don't even really read Greek, but I mean you can kind of read that yourself. And so the fact that you're reading, it says Basileus and Alexandroi. Oh, why? So Alexandru, but you can the fact that you can kind of read these is just blows my mind. You're talking 2,400 years ago, and you can still read it. So I find that fascinating. But yeah, okay. So back over to you, and I'll grab another coin.
Well, I'm going to just show a little bit of what I've poured. It's in my phone.
Well, if
let
you
me
pour
get.
it on your phone, it's bad for the electronics, so don't do that.
Everybody's got to be a smart aleck. Hold on a second here. Let me get back into position. Here we go. So those are some of the channel rounds that I've made for my wife's and my channel, plus one of the 5-ounce bars. So just to give you an idea where my level is right now. So that's some of the things I've learned over this last year is how to make some of my own silver poured products.
Yeah, I can't wait to get one of your true silver pours, Tiger.
Yeah, I'm going to. I've already texted the owner of the pawn shop I want to buy because that's the cheapest silver I can find usually. Because I'll just buy a bunch of cheapo silver and put it into the furnace and try to make it work and go from there. So I'm going to make a lot more of them. It's a lot more fun, but it's a lot more challenging to make it out of sand.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I can't wait to work with metal. I'm just not there yet, but that's got to be. It's so much fun to work with the metal itself, pouring it like
Yeah,
that, working it. Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully, one.
yeah, and even the mess ups. I mean, believe it or not, I actually enjoy cussing at the silver when it pours wrong.
Copper Owl has joined us. What's up, Copper Owl? Good to see you.
Hey, Copper Owl.
Hello,
Hey
hello.
guys, how you doing?
Doing well. What are you up to tonight?
I'll just maximizing my time on Christmas Eve to, do what I got to do in the early wee hours. Wrapping presents, I guess that's.
You know, Snoop Dogg won an award this Christmas.
He did.
Yeah, he's an amazing rapper.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness.
I walked
Come
right
on,
into
that was
that
there
one.
for the taking. That was there for the taking.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. That's the first time I've been up on this. I don't know this tool or this platform, so it's kind of interesting.
So this is the one that we were on earlier is obviously the one many people use, which is
StreamYard.
StreamYard. Unfortunately, StreamYard changed some of their policies and the amount of money that they charge.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I have opted to come over to Restream and use Restream. I like it a lot better. It's a lot easier to use. It's cheaper, and one of the one of the things that I like about it is one ease of use. But if I want to change and I don't want to stream in wide format, I want to stream in that, all I do is click a button, it's done. Like
Yep.
it's that easy, it's that fast. No more worried about configurations and doing all this other stuff. There
That's
are
cool.
some downfalls, but for the most part, I like this format. Plus, some of this stuff on the inside, it just has better features in my book.
Cool.
Hopefully, they don't increase their price too much, but
Yeah, they
Yeah.
really increased it. StreamYard did. I
Yeah.
found out that I was negative in my account for Tiger Stacker because StreamYard charged me a whole year's worth and they increased their prices. If I remember correctly, it was $787.
Yep.
So I was sort of shocked by that.
Yeah, they changed that about 2 or 3 months after I signed up for a year. So I'll eventually be looking at other options for sure.
I
yeah,
wonder if you can
I
get.
was pretty amazed when they dropped their prices. It's basically double,
Yeah.
and I was like, no, sorry, sorry. There's too many other options out there. No, I'm not doing
Yeah.
that. And
Little
it
incremental
is not.
increases.
Say again.
Little incremental increases to get to that doubling over a period of time might feel a little better than just wham.
Yeah,
Here's
no.
twice the cost.
It was pretty awful to go from $39 a month to 80. It's
Yeah,
like
it's ridiculous.
no way in hell. That's unreal. So I came
How's
over here,
how's
played
OBS's
did free for a
prices?
while, and then I've decided to go ahead and do the middle size option, which is really good. I'm really enjoying it. Good
Yeah,
connectivity, zero issue. Streams always connect fine. No worries whatsoever.
that's cool.
OBS is free, Tiger.
Yep.
OBS is free?
Yep, that's what's so
Yeah.
awesome about it. You can do everything. It just takes a little bit more learning ability,
Yep.
but
The only downside is if your stream glitches or your internet gets interrupted. One of the reasons why I direct my OBS towards the StreamYard platform at this point, mainly because if my stream glitches or internet is interrupted, as long as I can get back to StreamYards within 15 minutes of rebooting, I don't lose the stream. I don't have to set up a new stream to continue my stream. And, it's just like nothing happened. It was just a pause and I wasn't there. So that's one nice thing about it, but it's not worth double the cost to me. I'll look at other things.
Yeah, I wonder if I'll get a prorated refund if I get out of them.
Yeah.
What's up, Jake? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, you might be able to reach out to them and cancel. They might give you a prorated one if you tell them that you went with another stream. I wouldn't bank on it. Sometimes they don't do that, but you paid for a full year, so they might charge you to the end of the month and then issue you a preference.
That'd be nice.
Trying to read. So, what are your plans for Christmas, Copperell? What do you got going on your channel?
Well, on my channel, we're not necessarily doing anything special for Christmas Eve or Christmas. I know a few people that are, but I figure I give enough time on Sunday afternoons almost every week that I'm going to give my family the time they deserve.
That's a good call.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to make that decision, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I see somebody saying hi to me, but I can't find them. Hey, Jake's Custom Parts. Good to see you.
But
Did
we
you
already
find
had
it?
family in over the weekend. So,
Cool.
and my mother-in-law is staying with us probably through the new year, which is a cool thing.
So the question that we were having today is, what's one thing you learned in 2024? What's something that you picked up that you would like to impart wisdom to everybody else on?
Oh, wow. I mean, broader than coins and money and all that kind of stuff, just general knowledge. Anything.
General knowledge.
Probably just new levels of patience with stuff. Don't sacrifice the little things by being in a hurry to get to bigger things. Those little things still count. And just because you're taking your time to make a decision or a move or a change in some way, you can still be you're taking time to form an intelligent decision about it. So we're living in a very fast-paced society, and it only feels like it's getting faster. So I would think, with 4 kids, I've learned to be somewhat patient, but there's things that come up in a moment's notice that, you got to still got to have that patience to get through that moment too. So I don't know. I could probably say that every year, but I've had a lot of, lessons learned, tough lessons, life teaching you a lesson when you least expect it, things like that. So don't be afraid to call time out on yourself and make a better decision.
Yeah, it's a good call. I know that you recently has your son shipped out already?
Not yet. He leaves on, I believe, February 10th to report on the 11th.
So one of the things that's important. So for those of you that don't know, his son just joined the military. Chose the best branch. I'm not going to tell you guys. Not going to tell you guys which one that is, but I'll give you a clue. Um, but no. So when he talks about take times, make good decisions, don't sweat the small stuff. It's a really important thing because his son has just made a decision that's going to change his life.
Yep.
And so it's really important to do that. It's really important to take time and look at what's going on. And don't be in a hurry to force somebody to make decisions. I really like that as well because oftentimes we're in such go, 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 go that you go so fast that you miss the thing that was the item that you were looking for.
Yep.
You can actually look over the answer by trying to find what you're looking for. So, hey, it looks like we got a little raid going on here. Heavy Metal, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks so much. Happy to have you come on in. But yeah, it's fun to take time. So I just wanted to check and see. I need to coordinate some time and chit chat with your boy. Talk
Yeah.
about some of the
I,
things he can do and set up and what he should be looking for while he's in. And
yeah. I've mentioned it to him, and yeah, I think in the next maybe week and a half we'll have that. Hopefully, you'll have a chance, and he'll have that chance.
yeah, holler at me. Let me know. It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Again, the two most important people that he can make friends with are the cooks and the supply folks. Those are the way to those are the way to make good days in the military.
Yeah. He's actually been making reference to maybe missing the home cooking here more recently since we've had a couple holidays and big dinners and stuff like that. But I'm just like, yeah, it'll change, but you'll get used to it.
My volume is very low. Well, let's try that. See if that's any better. Shouldn't be any low unless it's changed. Let me check something.
Oh wow, looks like Gatita was saying the same thing I was just yesterday.
Is that any better?
That does sound better.
The volume probably downshifted for something. I'm not sure why that happens, but
Well, thanks LL for putting my channel link out there.
yeah, I
I
appreciate
don't
you all. Thanks for doing that.
Thanks, Al.
I don't know
Is
if
it
you
so
caught it in
quiet?
the I don't know if you caught it in the chat, Frosty, but I was kind of describing a little bit about what happened on my stream yesterday. I don't know if Namaste Forget Me Not is a name that you know or not, but
Yep, I do.
okay, good. Yeah, he was in on our stream yesterday, and I picked like 50 names and did 2 roll hunt for everybody that name was picked yesterday, and that's usually a good number of names for one of my streams, and it definitely filled the time. But Namaste was the last name on the list, but he was in there throughout, and he mentioned that his grandson was there with him. I guess he's like 4 or 5 years old, and probably just a little young to really appreciate coins and all that's going on there. But he mentioned that, and I was just like compelled to kind of stop what I was doing and threw in like a 43 steel cent and a beat up Indian head cent, and just send it to Namaste to give to his grandson for Christmas or something like that. And then pretty soon, we get 2 or 3 other people through the stream that are like, "Hey, if I send you $10, will you throw in a quarter and a nickel?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do that. Out of my reserves, yeah, I can do that." So they're taking care of me and taking care of the kid at the same time. That kid went from two beat up pennies to 3, 2 silver quarters, an SLQ quarter, war nickel, buffalo nickel. There's another person sending a really nice buffalo nickel, couple dimes, mercury dime. They got one of my channel uh, uh, coin hunting mats for small cents. But that and about 10 other things are going to this kid just spontaneously reacting to, hey, you're giving a kid something for Christmas? I want to give him something too.
Right.
Without
Yeah.
having to have, 10 different envelopes coming to him. They're just saying, hey, I'll send you money, you send him something. I'm like, absolutely, we can do that. He told me after that stream in an email, that kid, every time he heard his name on that stream, he'd be running around the room or running out of the room and running back, kind of like one of those dogs that gets kind of the zoomies. And then he would stop and say, "Another coin?" And yeah, if there was another coin up there, he'd just start the whole process over again, and he just about ran him tired.
Sounds like Tiger.
That's pretty cool.
That it was completely unscripted, unexpected, just an organic show of what a bunch of good people can do. So, those boxes were stone cold for me yesterday, except for a few little things, and that was just the highlight of the stream. So I just love to brag on stuff like that, because it really just it points back to good people that spend time in streams and aren't there to take advantage of one another. They're really there to just help some kid they've never met before, and it's not some sad story and tough life and down on their luck, anything like it. It's just a kid. I was kind of blown away by it.
Well, but this is how we grow our hobby.
Yeah.
This is how we get this. So thanks for the 4.99 super chat. Appreciate that. It's really important to take a minute and look at how do we sustain the hobby,
Yep.
right? And you look at, most of us are fairly old, right? And I don't mean old as in like we're ancient old, but we're getting up there in age.
We're experienced.
And yeah, very well experienced. Like we need re-greased type experience. Um, but we have the opportunity, and I'm going to bring Tiger back up. Tiger, I know um, you're not at home. You're traveling on the road right now, so you definitely don't have access to this right now. But Tiger does something along this that I would really like to kind of talk about. These are things that we can do to continue to grow our hobby, but not only grow our hobby, but things that we can do with and for other people. So, Tiger, I want you to talk a little bit about your teaching box. Um, Talk about some of the stuff that's in there, where you've got some of the items, the general premise and the purpose for it. Because again, these are the kind of things, I want numismatics to grow. I want people to understand stacking, but I want people to understand not only the value of silver and gold, but I want people to understand the numismatic value of some of these things. That's why I had you show the pre 33 just a few moments ago. What does that actually mean? When you're done with this, I'm actually going to pull up some information and show you guys some of the intrinsic values and talk to you about some mistakes that people make regarding stacking, and some of the things that you can do to protect yourself and make sure you actually get the money, like we did with the pizza. So talk a little bit about your teaching box. What's the purpose of that? What do you do? And let's kind of go over that.
My
And I
teaching
think we
box?
lost long live coins.
Long lived, you there?
No, he's gone. He dropped off.
Okay. My teaching box, well, it started when I started getting to a certain point of stacking weight, and I started having memories of my grandfather and how much I wanted to teach my grandson so that when they're of age, that they would actually be smarter about it, maybe have more lessons than what I got. And I would see certain things that I thought were cool. And I'd buy, like you would do with your different books. I would get what I could to teach with, and if I got something better quality, I'd grab it. Um, and obviously, a certain better quality is going to come with so much more money that it's going to be outside my price range. But
Yeah.
Then I had a little tiny box, and then I moved to the box that I've got now. Um, and what I can't get, I try to put something in there. Like, you were kind enough to let me do a swap with you, and I got a flowing haired medallion, which, was nothing of any high value. It was there for, uh, it was there for teaching, because to get a true flowing hair is going to be $5,000 to $7,000. And if I'm going to spend that amount of money, I'm going to buy gold or a big hunk of silver. Uh, so I brought that in there, and I started also getting fake stuff. So when my son was coming to the house, I'd lay out a bunch of similar coins and have the fakes in there and try to teach him, go ahead and find the fakes, and he wouldn't know how. So, how are you going to protect yourself when things go kaplooey? So that's how the teaching box started. And what's kind of nice is that I have the ability to teach what things look like, how to quickly determine things are not quite so right. Um, and that whole thing. I mean, if you're turning a coin that's American made, the reverse should be upside down. And if you're turning it and it's supposed to be a coin from America, you got yourself a fake. Now with
Not
the flowing
necessarily.
hair,
Not
with
necessarily.
the flowing hair, it's supposed to turn left and right because it's not a coin; it's a metal.
But
You
you can have coins that are 180-degree rotation. Just
know.
because it's upside down doesn't necessarily mean that it's a fake coin. So when you have a fake coin, there are certain things you absolutely want to do. So you're going to want to check the weight, and obviously, I'm talking to a stacker. He's very aware of this. You're going to want
Hmm.
to check the thickness. You're going to want to check that stuff. But you may have a counterfeit coin, but you may also have an error coin.
That's
And
true.
so, especially when you're looking at some of those older ones. So, just because it doesn't do what they call the coin flip, which is head over tails, it does your metal, which is your side to side, which is what your European and UK coins would do, right? You turn side to side. Then
Hmm.
that just means you might have a 180 off uh, off strike.
And those tend to be a little higher value.
Yeah,
Uh,
they're
I've
collectible. Have a good night, JJ. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, JJ. Enjoyed having you. So no, I've got a couple errors, but they're not coins. They're more, well, I guess they can be coins. I think one was by the country of Niue. I have the mule error for Wolverine, and I got a few Lady in the Tramp error coins. They're kind of cool because the Lady in the Tramp is the mirror image of what it should be.
They're not coins though. Those are just rounds.
Yeah, but
Um,
I think the Wolverine one's a coin
the
because it's from
Wolverine one is
Niue.
a coin, but the other one is not. It's just a round. And Niue is New Zealand.
Oh, is it? I
That's
thought it
New
was a
Zealand.
different country. No wonder I could never find it. I went looking on the map and never could find it.
Yeah, Niue is the New Zealand mint.
Oh, I
Yep.
didn't know that.
I love those Kiwis.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, you know, my favorite. I think it was New Zealand. Person is Lucy Lawless, Xena the Warrior Princess.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I know who she is.
Yep.
That was a show. Oh my God, that was a show.
As a young man in his teens, yes, it was.
Oh, too much funny. Too much fun.
I
Well,
love that. I love that.
the last the last thing, and I heard somebody say this, and it kind of bothered me. This is one of the last things that I want to talk as far as things that I learned this year. And I learned that a lot of people don't believe that balance is real. And when I talk about that, I'm not talking about equilibrium. I'm talking about balancing life, social media life, work, religion, exercise, health. And the fact is, balance is real, but it's not something that just naturally comes. You have to actually work to be balanced. You
True.
have to make decisions. Copperal said this just a little while ago that sometimes you need to slow down, sometimes you need to go quicker, right? People talk about not having enough time. Well, guess what? How often do you do this? Right? Time is a matter of perception, but it's also a matter of choice. If you take time to make time, you will have time. And so sometimes it's a prioritization thing. Sometimes it's a thing where you have to look at it and go, I am going to make a just a firm commitment that I'm not going to be on my phone for 6 hours. I'm going to go hang out with my kids. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go and, whatever. I'm going to go have lunch with my wife or my husband or my a significant other, whatever that might be. But I heard, and again, this is working with somebody. They were like, "Man, balance is not real," and I want people to understand balance is real, but you have to create the balance, right?
Yep.
Because the obstacle to balance is the fulcrum. Okay, now if you guys understand, think about a teeter totter. Okay, so I'm going to pull myself up here. Think about a teeter totter. Okay, you have a teeter totter. You know how they go. They go back and forth. Well, if you move your fulcrum way over here, it's going to be like this. Don't, don't,
Yep.
right? It,
Yeah.
it's it's going to be extremely exaggerated. And the way that you create that balance is to shift that into the middle.
Mhm.
If all of your time is work, then you're not going to have a good home balance. If all of your time is about family, you may not have the dedication that you need to at work. Good night, Billows. Have a good one. Thanks for coming in. Um, if you're too far over on your social, then you're not going to have a good balance with personal. If you are
Yep.
too far over in your balance when it comes to um, your health, then you may not take enough time for those other things that are fun. So people are like, well, health can be fun. It can be, but exercising can also be. You can also do it too much. You can be
Yep.
too
True.
focused, be too dig into it. So there's extremes in life, and in order to be balanced, you have to be diligent. You have to dedicate time to that endeavor, and you have to take that time and you have to make it a point to do that. So what I
Yep.
learned in 2024, and I've done a lot with my channel over the last little while. I've grown a lot, but I've also known that I have to take certain time. So you'll see me not in as many streams as I used to be, but that's because I've had to step away and actually give some of my time back to my wife, give some of my time back to my daughter, actually take time to go out for a walk, actually take time. So I want you guys to understand balance is real. Balance is attainable, but balance requires effort, right? Try standing on one foot. If you never do that, you might fall over. But if you do it over and over and over and over and over again, you're going to get better at it. So you have to be purposeful in your balance in order to have it. So I want to remind people that balance is possible. You can have a good YouTube channel, you can have a good family life, you can have a good work life, and you can balance them all, but it's going to take time and you actually have to dedicate to them. Okay?
Yeah, and
Yep.
Frosty does do that. There's a lot of times uh, I want to talk to him. He'll tell me, "Nope, it's date night with the wife. Nope, it's date night with the daughter." You know, we talked about going live, and he's like, "I'm going to talk to my daughter because I won't see her for a lot for this holiday season." So and that's balance is something I have to work at. I've always been taught that the man is the breadwinner in the family, and um, I have always been a workaholic and always, fixed problems by working harder, not smarter. And working smarter was never something that was taught to me. My example was my dad, and he was a hard kick butt worker. It makes it hard. To be honest with you, my wife tells me that when I'm on YouTube is one of the most times I smile the most, or she'll walk into the garage when I'm pouring silver and she'll see me smiling. Says, that would drive her crazy, but she sees me smiling all the time when I'm doing it, especially when I bring out the hammer. I just love taking my anger out with that hammer. So, but it's just it's so nice. I was mad one time about the whole Ukraine thing. I've got in-laws over there that I actually do love. I actually do care about, and I actually want them here in the country and living at my house. And I had silver to stamp, and I'm just banging away, and I get done at 7 in the morning. I'm ready to go to bed when she's coming out of bed. She's like, says, "I know where you were all night. I could hear you, but look at you. You're smiling." And well, of course, I couldn't see myself, but I could feel my face. It was like, you know, um, with my type of life, I work fixing people who hurt themselves and hurt each other and don't take care of themselves, and and then you have to deal with bad politics. That I don't get a lot of reasons to smile. My wife's funny. Frosty tries to be funny, and we'll get a chance to smile at some of his dad jokes, so I can make him feel better. So, but actually, to be honest with you, my friendship with Frosty gave me a lot of reasons to smile also. So I'm kind of grateful for that. Don't tell him I told him that. That might go to his head. But
I'm pulling something up real quick. Um,
Yeah.
what about you? How do you manage your work life balance?
Oh, definitely a work in progress. But I think like anybody that can do it effectively, it kind of you hit on something real important. There is that it takes effort, and effort comes from you. It can't come from somebody else planning it for you. It won't come from life and all the other distractions that are out there. Those are going to chip away at you. And if you just say yes to all that, you're going to be spread too thin to bring it all back and be effective in trying to organize that. Early on in my career, I was before we waited 7 years to have kids, so I was all about working hard, new in the world of work and career, and trying to establish things. And um, I would gladly give 12, 14, 16 hours a day if I had to, you know, and what I didn't realize that I was doing was you can do that in a short term, but you can't sustain that over a long term, or you will become physically troubled with that approach. 9 years into my career, I didn't want to leave my job, but I had to because I had pain in my stomach from just the everyday stress of pushing hard and you know, just giving everything that I could to that, which basically told me I was out of balance there. Yeah, we were starting a family, but the good thing was in those last couple years, I did run across a mentor that was very much a stop and smell the flowers type of guy. Very smart, very driven, but you know, if I ever called him up after work because we just had that kind of relationship where it went beyond the work, we were actually friends. You know, he wasn't working on work then. If he was working on something, it was something to kind of take his mind off work, or he was paying attention to his family and all that. So, you know, if you have a good mentor in life and you find yourself out of balance, be quiet, observe, listen. You know, if you, it's kind of like, you know, if you're overweight, but you want to be thin, then you got to do what thin people do to get there. Same thing applies here. You got to do what the example that's doing it is. You don't have to mirror it exactly, but just learn the principles of what's going on there. And so now, after that job change, I've got about a 20 to 30 minute drive home after work. As much as I can, I try to take those 20 to 30 minutes to leave work at work, so that, you know, the family and, you know, this hobby, you know, and all that can get the attention that it deserves. But, you know, when I'm at work, it's all about it.
Yeah,
What
we
do
were having that conversation earlier. You know, people were like, "Man, Frosty must be doing work and creating videos because you know there's no way he can do all that stuff." And it's like, no, 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 no. When I'm at work, I'm all about work, and then when I leave, like my boss will call me. It's like, "Hey, I need you to do something." It's like, "What time is it?" 6:30. I ended at 4:30. Have a good night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I was like, well, we need this. It's like, okay, does leadership need this like today? Yes.
Yeah.
When did you know about this task? 4 days ago. Then you can tell leadership you waited 3 days to get it from me, and I'll
Yep.
get it to you tomorrow.
Yep.
And they have learned that I do not cross that line because, again, it is, I'm not muted.
No.
What'd you say? Eh?
Who said that I'm muted? No. Anyway, what happened?
I don't know.
Oh,
Let me
anyway,
see.
there may have been something going on with chat or something. The stream may have
Yeah,
been whatever.
I heard you.
Well, yeah, I was like, I'm not sure what's going on. Uh, but again, I have that balance because what happens is when I get to the point where like work becomes more than just a job,
Yep.
then I sacrifice those things that don't need to be sacrificed. That's when relationships start to go bad. That's when you start having problems in the marriage. That's when you start having those things. And I've had that happen here in YouTube,
Oh
where
yeah.
I started spending so much time that all of a sudden, you know, now I'm not spending the time I need to. And
Yeah.
when it does happen, it happens, and it's
Well,
not good.
it's tempted, you know, because if you're starting something, you know, kind of from the ground up, and you know you're working hard to, you know, get those initial subs so that you can get monetized, or, you know, get a following, and you know you're reaching out, you know, making making friends here and there, and hoping that the channel will grow if that's what your goal is. Yeah. I mean, you pour yourself into it, and I think I'm kind of getting close to the point where it's not often, but I will sometimes say, if I needed to, could I let this go? And I think as long as I can say yes there, it's okay to do this up to the point where it becomes a hindrance to my real job at home.
I have the same thing. I'll go home, my wife will say, you need to go to bed. And if I feel this strong desire to make more videos and get caught up, I'll roll with that. But if she says that to me and my body's like, it feels like it wants to become a blob of jello, it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that sounds better to me than going to make a video. Or when I
Yeah.
come back from a 12-hour ER shift, especially the day shifts at the ER. I just finished my shifts at.
Oh,
The day shifts are worse than the night because they have 3 times more people.
yeah.
And a lot of real. I swear to God, I'm working in inner city ER because the amount of bad things that come through. And I'll get back to the hotel room, and I feel sick. I mean, just an overall body sick. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to lay down. If I don't wake up until tomorrow morning, then that's just the way it's going to have to be. And it makes me feel guilty that I'm
Yeah.
not putting out faster content. And it makes me feel guilty that I'm not putting stuff out for my grandsons, putting stuff out for all of you in YouTube. But,
Yep.
my gas tank is empty. And I need, my dream is to keep to my original plan, which I've mentioned to all of you before, what my mission is about my wife and the grandchildren and all of you. And yeah, I would love to be a big channel, because not because of the money so much, it's because of the time. I can work YouTube and be home and be with my wife. And if I dream of the day when I can only be a half-time doctor, because YouTube is providing me the freedom to be home with the wife.
Yeah.
She's kind of a neat chick. I kind of like hanging out with her. She's kind of pretty.
It's not a bad gal, huh?
Yeah, she kind of, and she's way more attractive than I am, and I keep wondering why in the world she with me. But I figured. Oh, that
She has
reminds me.
cataracts.
Yeah, well, that might be true too. Adam's talking to God one day, and he says, "Hey, God, I got to talk to you about Eve." So, okay, what's up? He says, "Why did you make her look so good, so that you would like her?" Okay, well, why'd you make her smell so good, so that you would like her? And why'd you make her lips and her curves and all that like that, so that you would like her? Then why in the world did you make her so dense and dumb so she would like you?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, I think we're probably all just about in your boat there. We're not quite sure what they see in us, but they're
Well, yeah.
they're good people to be with.
What do you do for a living, Copperall?
I'm a mechanical engineer. Work with a design and construction company here in Kansas City. We're kind of a
Oh,
global
I
company.
love Kansas City. That's where I went to med school.
Okay, did you go to what UMKC?
No, no, the osteopathic school.
Okay, okay. Yeah, what I do day to day for them is building commissioning, which basically it can be a new building with all the new equipment, systems, all that kind of stuff that needs to be checked out and started up for its initial start to make sure that it conforms to the design and operational standards that are expected. If it's a existing building going through some retrofits, then basically you kind of zero in on just the system and equipment that are affected, but we're looking at it to operate according to plan. But then also the second half of what I look at is I spent a lot of time before getting into this aspect of it on energy conservation. So not only making equipment work, but if there's a better way to make it work, achieve comfort conditions, but also use less energy in the process, then that's one of my secondary goals on most things.
That's a good secondary goal. Less energy spent, less money spent.
Yeah. And right now, a lot of my work is with the federal government at Department of Energy labs around the country. So I've gotten to, possibly stand in the same room where Oppenheimer stood at one point. That's as close as I'll get to it. But when your eyes get open to, dang, the man was here, I'm here. This is as close as I'll get. It really just kind of hits you, and you realize what you were working on is far less important than what they were working on.
Oh, I couldn't imagine being in that area, knowing how
Yeah,
important that thing that I'm building is. Now,
yeah,
Tiger gets to make those decisions because his decisions impact every life that he touches.
yeah.
Being a physician, ER doc, his decisions
Oh,
are
that's
saving
that's
lives
amazing
every day.
stuff.
So
Yeah,
it's cool to think of the availability and the power to have impacts on people's lives. But
yep,
let's not forget that the stuff that we do here has impacts in people too. And this is one thing that I really like about what we do here. And that goes back to the first thing that I learned this year, which is that, um, you know, gratitude is everything, right? Understanding that we have the opportunity to impact people, but it's amazing what can happen through grace. So we have a great opportunity to be stewards of humanity. Just because, hey, thanks, Just Take Custom Parts, appreciate it. We have the duty and the responsibility, but we also have the opportunity to be stewards of kindness and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
I'm
and those things can take a toll. I mean, if you look at it, the the in a family's life, the worst possible thing to be is the wife of a physician. You basic you have a second wife called your career,
yeah,
and you don't know when you're going to be called away, and you don't know when. It's like I was supposed to have the week before Christmas off, and I was called by the owner of the company saying, I need you to work. I said, no, I don't want to. So, well, this guy's got surgery. I have no one else. And, the patient always comes first, even above me, even above the family. Um, and if you look at it, it's no longer in the Bible because it was taken out and became the Apocrypha. But there's a book in there that talks about the re- the the responsibility of the physician, and when you do put the patient first, frequently, the wife and the family suffer simply because you're not there. You're out saving a life and you're doing God's work. It's really it takes its toll, you
yeah.
know. So when I run into people like you who appreciate what I do for a living, it's really nice to, you know, not be a doctor, to have the venting time and all that. So the community is um, is really kind of good to be around because outside of that, I normally don't have friends because when you travel, you don't get friends. You just travel and you work, and then you travel and you work. You all are the friends that I don't get a chance to because I'm always the outsider who travels. So I want to thank you all for that.
Yeah.
Especially Frosty because he seems to really understand me. So,
Well,
don't tell him I said that. It might go to his head.
Can you guys hear me better now? Hopefully that's a little bit better. For some
What'd you
reason,
say?
my speaker changed to my other phone. Um, my wife always told me that it's easy to read a blank page, so no problem, Tiger.
Be a little worried if it was a struggle.
Oh
Yeah.
God Almighty!
OC Stacker, have I ever been to the huge coin store in Houston? No, I haven't.
All I can say,
Tiger and I have
Frosty, is
made
that you know
plans
how
to
to
do that
read between the
sometime.
lines.
Tiger and I have done that, plan to do that sometime, but no, I have not been there.
Oh,
Um,
that's coming up. I just got to figure out how to get time to get there.
I don't know why my volume's low. You guys can hear
What?
me okay?
What'd you say?
Stop, Tiger. Seriously.
I
People are
mean, it's
saying
a
they
little
can't hear me.
quiet, but it's not bad.
You're not as powerful as you were, but I can still hear you.
Maybe you got to be like those rock and rollers on stage and just basically eat the mic.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the volume would be low. I'm sitting at 100%. So
Yeah.
What about those knobs on the mic? Because I got the same mic you do at home. The ones that have the different shapes on them and everything.
yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I don't know what's going on. It's crazy.
We could make 10 louder, but it would just be easier to go to 11.
Yeah, I should be coming across. It shows me as being extremely hot, so I'm not sure why
Huh.
it's so low. But
I think OC Stacker said something about being subtuby but not getting notifications. I've heard that from a few people now, and I'm really not sure what the issue there is. If your bell shows that you're supposed to be getting all the subscription or all the notifications, then I certainly don't control that. So
sometimes
gripe
you have to
YouTube.
turn your notifications off and then turn it back on because they default
Okay.
personal
Okay.
instead of all. And so you
Gotcha.
want to make sure you turn that off and then turn that back on for it to
Okay.
reestablish. That
Okay.
happens from time to time.
Got to reboot every once in a while.
Yeah. L says, Tiger, time for bed.
I'll
Gotta be
get there when
wrapping
I
stuff
get
up.
there.
But Copperall, I wanted to share this with you. Tiger told me that he picked his wife up a 14 karat gold or 14 karat necklace, and this is what he showed me.
Ooh, that is a bold choice, I will say.
That is a 14 karat necklace right there.
That will definitely take the right kind of lady to appreciate it.
Oh, he said I'm
That's
not
awesome.
funny. Gotta love
Well,
Frosty Flakes. Yeah.
I had a feeling. I just had a feeling.
that was an amazing idea of a gift that you had with the whole Kellogg's and Tony the Tiger. It's like that's funny. Frosty Tiger. That was Oh, that was ingenious.
Well, when Steve said he had that, I was like, "That's a perfect gift for you." So I had to make sure that I got that because that was pretty cool. I have to say that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You look like you're running out of steam.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just looking down at the desk. I got a few coins here and there that every once in a while I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I've got that one there.
Yeah, everything I got on my desk right now is stuff that goes out, but I'm not sending out until after the holidays.
Yeah, I
I
just
didn't want
went through
anything out
two
there
hundred.
floating around during the holidays.
I just went through $250 worth of gold and Susan B. Anthony coins, $1 coins.
Find anything fun?
Filled 4 spots in my presidential books and found a wide rim 79.
Nice.
Had a couple of the Sacagaweas that upgraded or added to a couple spots I was open on there too. So all in all, I'll take $242 back, but I've got 8 nice additions.
And see, that's one thing about doing these is that if you get them from a bank, you can actually coin search for cheap. If
Yep,
you do it smartly, you can coin search for cheap.
yep. It's kind of a two-edged sword, because you get the person that doesn't understand what you're doing with it, that says, well, you go through all these coins so that like 0.14% of all of them mean something to you. I'm like, yeah, I've also enjoyed my hobby at a very low cost.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that. They
Yep.
just don't understand
I always compare
the
it to
effect.
golf. I I like golf. I don't mind playing golf. It costs money every time you do it. It's, just light it on fire. It's gone. You're going to have to replace balls because I lose them. You might have to replace a club just because, the moment hits you and then you hit back. Um, and I'm sure as heck not going to be good enough to hustle or win a tournament to pay for all that. That's
Yeah.
why I love this hobby, and running a channel that gives you the chance to, work with people and let them pay you to hunt the coins that they end up getting. And, you know, there's enough there, even at a little bit of a discount, to still be able to enjoy yourself just a little bit. So, and I
Yeah,
tell my wife, all the stuff can be sold. The golf stuff doesn't work that way.
that's true.
That's true. Yeah, that's fact.
Yep.
The big thing I was into before stacking was aviation. Always wanted to fly. Always wanted to fly. When I was in the Army, I became a flight surgeon in the Pennsylvania National Guard, but I was in residency at the time, and every time I tried to get away from the residency to earn my wings, I had a husband and wife team that would try to get me fired out of the residency while I was trying to go to the army to get my wings.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I loved my unit, but in the army they don't give you when you're in your wings you just earn the right to be a flight surgeon. Unlike the Air Force, when you earn your wings, you only get to be a flight surgeon, but they actually put you in an airplane and let you fly it under the supervision of a pilot. So I always had that urge to fly even more so than when I was a kid. My uncle, by the way, was a B-52 bomber in World War II. Um, and he was just amazing, and I also got a love of flying because of him. But it's an expensive hobby, and I was lucky enough that when I sold my 3 airplanes, that I sold them for give or take what I bought them for, but all the maintenance and fuel and
Yeah.
all the other stuff and the replacement parts
Yep.
that ate up a lot of money.
Yep.
So, when my wife was looking at me saying I was wasting money buying coins and buying silver and gold, it took a while, including at least 2 sessions with Yankee, trying to get her to understand that this wasn't really so much purchasing as it was converting to another form of currency.
Yep.
And she finally accepted it, which was even more solidified when I had to pay the bills for being out. And she's like, she was so grateful we had this stuff. And she looked at me and says, I don't feel so bad about you not working because we have savings to rely on. And you don't know how good it felt, even though I was sick as a dog, how good it felt to have friends here, a wife who cared, and a chance just to be a bum, although I've never been out of work that long in my life. It felt so good to have all this here to rely on, to know that I could pay the bills.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
great. Yeah, absolutely.
It's good to
friends
have
and
a backup. This is why
friends
we
and
stack,
finance.
why we collect.
Friends and finance, two of the best F words in the whole English language. On family too. Let's not forget.
There we go.
Well, folks, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to try and get some rest. Got
Sounds
a bunch
like
of
a
stuff
plan to
going on
me.
tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah,
Or today.
I'm going
Happy
to.
birthday, OC.
OC,
Yeah, I saw that.
it's your birthday.
It is his birthday today.
Happy birthday, OC. Happy birthday.
Let the party begin. Yep.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
OC's a pretty good guy. I spent a few hours with him, hanging out with him on kind of like a Zoom meeting, and just talked about coins and him doing his business. He's got a good new developing business. So if you guys are interested in checking him out for silver, gold, whatever your needs are, he's a pretty good egg. Don't let him know I said that. It might go to his head.
We'll try to keep it quiet.
All right, folks. Well, thanks so much for having us on, coming up, saying hi. Caporal, thanks for coming up, hanging out with us.
Absolutely. It was fun.
Thank
For
you,
those of you that
Corporal.
I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for coming up and having a good one. Yeah, good time to turn it in. Gonna wrap this up. We'll chat with you guys later. If we don't talk to you before, hope you have a wonderful Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Be safe,
You
be
too,
well,
man.
be blessed.
You too.
Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Feliz
All right.
Navidad.
All right, we'll see you later. I'll see you guys in the streams. Take care.
Take care, everyone.